3923 Wess Park Drive in Cincinnati, Ohio, doing a sanitary lateral inspection for the purchase of a home. Actually, it's not for a purchase of a home. This is just to, this house has already been purchased, and this is just scoping out to see how what kind of shape the line is in. We are going through a toilet flange here in the very back of the basement. And looks like there's there hasn't been any water run through here in a while. So it's kind of hard to tell, because this is cast iron, whether or not there's holes in this line or not. You'd have to run some water through to be sure. It looks open. I don't see any major, I don't see any obvious holes, but there's, they always look nasty like this because it rusts. So there we go. We've had some water coming through here. There's been some water come up in the floor drain recently, and I want to check to make sure, see if it's coming from the main. This is zigzagging through the inside of the house pretty good. We're getting close to exiting the house and switching from cast iron over to clay. We'll go a little slower on the way back and take a look at all this cast iron. Looks like I'm going in a circle here. I made like 4 turns. Looks like we are getting ready to exit the house, and we are switching over to clay. And here's some groundwater getting in, it looks like. This looks like there's some mineral buildup pretty bad in this area. And I can't tell if that's a connection, maybe a downspout connection just on the outside of the house, or if there's just groundwater getting in. It does look like an awful lot of mineral buildup and stuff on that line, so I'll try to get a look at that when we pull back too. So far it looks like the pipe is all holding shape and everything, so hopefully we'll be able to see if that was a connection or just getting groundwater in. It wasn't causing a blockage of any kind, but this looks like something similar. This actually looks like a few cracks, but it looks like this was a repair maybe at some point. I don't know. Maybe just a turn down, so 70 feet. It was holding shape, so there wasn't anything broken. Looks like there's a little more mineral deposits. It looks like there's an awful lot of mineral deposits getting in there. Unless there's been some root, a little bit of dead root intrusion with some grease attached to it, or some chemical treatments. was a belly. Doesn't seem, it's a pretty minor belly because you can see the lens of the camera above it, and the camera lens is only about half an inch high, so pushing some debris in here though. So we're hoping we can get all the way out to the main. Not really sure where we are here. Push back out to where I was stuck. So I'm going to go ahead and pause the video here. I'm going to check to see where the camera is, see how close we are to the main. All right, so we're in the middle of the street here, and I can't tell what in the world is going on here. It is like 10 foot deep, and I can't get any further than this, but this is off the property. Seems to me, I took a look in the manhole across the street, and looks like the water level has got above that 10 foot mark, as far as 10 foot deep, like where this tap would even come in. And I think there's either a blockage out there in the street or something wrong with the pipes. I'm going to pull back to where I can see again, and then we'll get a locate there and see how far up we are. It does look like that main out there in the street is like a 4 foot, it's like a 4 foot, 48 inch main. It's huge. And it's carrying a lot of water, and then there's a monitoring float that's in it. And it looks like it is going pretty high. And so, get back to here, we're going to see if we can get to a spot where we're out of that. Because this is just a little bit of water, it's probably not much. But it could have some damage in the middle, or it's just blocking a bunch of stuff. And then when it rains, it could be, because the downspouts also come into this, it could be backing up there. But like I said, the monitoring float in the manhole, based off of the measurements that I made, would be higher than where the tap is coming into the main. And so it could be backing up from the main also. And that could be what this is here, actually underneath the road. So I'm going to go ahead and pause the video one more time. Because it does seem to be a blockage. I don't know if it's a full blockage. I can't get anything larger through this spot as far as standoffs without having, without having a better access.
be pretty rough to get something with a standoff through it. So anyway, I'm going to pause the video. I'm going to go out and see where this is to see if this is all, and see if every bit of this is off the property. Okay, so this is in the sidewalk. So looks like everything is pretty much, even the beginning of this belly, which I don't think is the issue, but I think the problem, if there's a broken down pipe that's down there, out there in the middle of the road that I can't get past. Could be root intrusion. Seems like the water is escaping up to that point. There is some a lot of this stuff just looks like some mineral deposits and stuff like that where the groundwater's gotten in, but I don't really see any roots. There may have been some chemical put through here for the roots at one point, because I saw a little tiny bit, but I don't see like major root intrusion. Looks like there may used to have been some trees out there. This was something that we were trying to get a look at. Make sure that there wasn't a hole there. I don't see anything like discoloration, but I don't see anything like dropping down into it. If that was something, if that was a hole, because it's really hard to tell. It doesn't look like a hole, it just looks like there's some stuff getting in right there, minerals or something. There's a little bit of roots that have caught some grease or something. And here is this spot. That looks like calcium deposit. Now there is something right here. It's really close to this, and it may be where, because this is where it exits the house, and then you have there is a hose bib leaking. And it would be right around in this area. I don't see anything. I can't tell if that is a connection or just groundwater getting in. It's not affecting flow right here, but there is some calcium deposits pretty, along the sides. I mean, it looks like stalactites and stalagmites, so it's probably, just mineral deposits that are getting around this area. And I think it's coming from, because it's right past the foundation, right where it turns over into clay, because right here we're back into cast iron and in the house. So it could be a connection coming from a downspout. It's slowly leaching in.
used in quite a while. Okay, so I was able to get out to about 110 feet, which is out in the almost the center of the street. The sanitary main is on the other side of the street, just inside in between the curb and the sidewalk on the opposite side of the street. There's a manhole like directly across the street from the driveway here. And so the first step, you could either contact MSD and see if they'll run a camera up it from the tap and see if there's some damage there, or you could try to have it cleaned and re-inspect it to see if there's stuff down in there that is, causing the backup. But all I know is I can't make it past the 110 feet, and I'm under enough water where I can't see. So there could be some roots getting in at the main and the tap and causing it to hold water, or the line could have dropped underneath the road and then it's not escaping properly. But I got to a certain point where I was stuck, and it almost seemed like there was a buildup of, it seemed really gritty, and so I don't know if it's just a buildup of material, maybe the pipe is broke, but without the line being able to be clear to see, there's no way to diagnose it. So I would recommend that you could either start from a cleaning and have it re-inspected from here, or contact MSD and see if they will inspect it from the main with a lateral launcher, and see if they find anything. If it is actively backing up, it did seem like the float indicated that the water level in that main had gotten up higher than the tap, but that doesn't mean it got all the way up to the level of the basement of the house. So so yeah, have it cleaned and re-inspected, and also maybe contact MSD and see if they'll inspect it from the main. So that'll end the inspection at 3923 Wess Park Drive.